Coming up, a psychiatrist and best-selling author joins us with life strategies for sensitive people. We'll be right back.
Have you ever been told that you are overly sensitive? Do other people's moods affect your mood? Our next guest says you may be an empath.
She's written a book called The Empath Survival Guide, Life Strategies for Sensitive People. Please welcome New York Times best-selling author and psychiatrist, Dr. Judith Orloff. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what is an empath, and how do you know if you are one?
Well, I'm a psychiatrist and also an empath. And what an empath is an emotional sponge. Somebody who literally takes on the emotions and physical symptoms and stress of the world into their own body so they feel it and suffer until they get strategies, such as the ones in the book, to learn how not to do that so they can be fully empathic and loving and giving without taking on the stuff.
Well, a lot of us feel like we're empathetic people.
Right.
What's the difference between that and an empath?
Well, empathy is when I feel what's going on in you. I feel your pain. I feel your joy. But as an empath, I'll take on your pain and I'll start feeling the exhaustion or the tiredness or the pain or the anxiety in my own body, literally.
But does it work both ways? Like if I'm radiating joy, will you take on that too?
Okay. Oh, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Oh, the good and the bad. Empaths just love taking on the joy and the compassion and the hope. And so that's why it's important, if you're an empath, to have really positive people around you in your life to give you positive vibes instead of the energy vampires that I talk about in the book, who will drain you and sap you.
So, Doctor, research shows that 1 out of 5 people are highly sensitive. You have some tips for those individuals, for empaths. So first up, what are your strategies to stop absorbing stress and physical symptoms from others?
Well, the first thing is to really schedule in alone time. Empaths need alone time. That's where they replenish themselves. They don't replenish themselves in crowds or with people. They like being alone. They like being in nature. They love being with their animals or in the bathtub. And so just scheduling that alone time where you could just be with yourself, that saves me as an empath. After a busy day, seeing patients or running around, I go home and I just breathe, I meditate, and I allow that alone time so I can decompress rather than have emotional hangovers that empaths often have. They literally take on the emotions of other people into their own bodies. It feels like a hangover.
Well, is that what you were talking? You just mentioned the energy vampire.
Yeah.
And so how do you deal with that?
Well, in the book there's a chapter on that, and there are many types. There's a drama queen, there's the narcissist, who's the most dangerous. There's the chronic talker, who really drains the empath with all the chronic talking. So learning strategies, how to set boundaries, so important. Learning that no is a complete sentence, that you don't have to defend it. You can just say, no, I don't want to listen for 20 minutes for you to talk about your victim story. I want to, just say no, and I love you, you're my friend, but I'm not going to listen unless you're in solutions. So empaths need to learn how to take really good care of themselves, self-care, and set boundaries in a loving way.
You say that empaths often struggle with intimate relationships because of their intense sensitivities, but you also say that the right love relationship really could empower an empath.
Oh, absolutely. Empaths flourish on love, but what they don't like is too much togetherness.
Okay. Space.
Yeah, little space, more than a little space. And to be able to really express your authentic needs with your partner, to say, I really need to be alone now. What I did for so long was not express my needs with a partner. And so then after a time, I would just bolt because I just felt overstimulated and just, distraught. So as an empath in love, you really need to set your limits and talk to your partner very, very honestly, and then you can have amazing relationships.
As people are listening at home and they think, gosh, some of those characteristics might apply to my child.
Yes.
What should they do?
Yes, there's a section in the book on, is your child an empath? And empathic, sensitive children are such beautiful creatures. They really are. They're loving, they're sensitive, they're quiet, they're thoughtful. They don't like video games. They don't usually like sports teams or going on the football team. But they love going out in nature. They love being one-to-one with their best friend. So you want to support your child's sensitivities and not tell them, get a thicker skin. That's what I was told as a child, and it felt really hurtful to me. As I was a sensitive, open child, I would go into shopping malls and go in feeling fine and walk out absorbing all the anxiety or the depression or the stress there.
Wow.
I know, but there's so many people who are empaths now because of the increased stress in the world. That even people who are not empaths are empaths because their usual defenses are just being broken down.
Once again, the book is called The Empath Survival Guide, Life Strategies for Sensitive People. For more information, you can go to judithorloff.com. Thanks so much.
Yeah, really.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.